Okay, I hope this thing's on and working. Welcome back to the eternal mess that is my room. My room. I'm hoping anybody can hear me. Yeah, I woke up today. Well, actually, after you do so many days in a row, plus I should have more than enough time to cover it. So I said, I ain't going in today. So I didn't. Oh, I got to get Herman his holiday gear on. I know everybody forgets about poor Herman back there. You know, he's still sitting there, even though his friends have mobbed the place. Ugh. But good morning, everybody. It's Monday. We will get through it. You see, the thing is, one of the crazy things I keep hearing about is people going nuts because they didn't like who got elected for our current president. And I'm like, you made it through it the first time. We'll make it through it again. Me, I don't care because either way, they're all puppets on the end of a string dancing to some larger corporate bill masses tune. Folks, your president is a middleman and has been for decades. George Carlin put it best. I'm not kidding. Go look it up. Especially you Americans, look up George Carlin, The American Dream. It'll scare you. But okay, let's get off that nonsense and get back to Doctor Who. Doctor Who has not been canceled. Series 3 is still undecided. Yet we've got, I just saw an article in the Pulse that one of the, everyday morons is using, going that's Doctor Who has not yet been picked up for Series 3. It is a massive woke failure. And you should read the comment boxes on these things. Everybody, yeah, there ain't did the show ended with Capaldi. Blah blah blah. This whole show, since the beginning, has survived, thrived, and on change. That's what amazes the crap out of me. Is I do not like that. Therefore, it is not. The show sucks. I am sure that because I don't like it, everyone else on planet Earth must not like it either. What a bunch of arrogant hooey. It just drives me insane. It's like the more they bark, the more they scream, the more they show, no, you're not in the majority. Because if you have to bark and scream about it, then that kind of shows me you got nothing backing you up. You're like the Chihuahua guard in Fort Knox. Then again, Fort Knox would have someone backing you up. But then again, if you read certain things about Fort Knox, but you're the Chihuahua trying to guard the front yard. You've got no backup whatsoever. It's like, but you're in the majority. Yet I keep reading articles about, Ncuti Gatwa is up for a Critics' Choice Award for Best Actor for his shitty performance in Doctor Who. Oh my God. Well, what planet are these people living on? All because some, backwater, tween, with his hair greased back, like I said, looking like he literally just came out of mama's vagina, is telling you the show's a failure because they've not picked it up for Series 3 yet. This has been explained 100 times in just the last, since this all came up. Just because Disney has not agreed to pick up Series 3 does not mean the show will be canceled. Okay, let's talk worst case scenario. Okay. I know the thing is, every era of Doctor Who has its good episodes and its bad episodes, and then there's episodes that you kind of want to bury out in the forgotten cemetery, where people bury their relatives they don't like to talk about, by Pumpkinhead in the swamp, But remember Pumpkinhead, the movie that was out of that movie? Okay, if you've not watched Pumpkinhead, it's a good scary movie with Lance Henriksen, but there's been like a billion sequels. But even Jodie's era had some good episodes. Even like I said, to me, I saw no problem with it. It's like, come on, look, I love how they never talk about like David Tennant is the greatest thing in the universe. Yeah, but David Tennant's an actor, Jodie Whittaker's an actor, Peter Capaldi's an actor, Matt Smith's an actor. They're all portraying different aspects of a character. And they do that according to scripts, direction, and all that given to them. I'm still pissed off about things like Ahmed Best. Remember him? Played Jar Jar Binks, but everybody was riding his ass like he was the town donkey, and treating him like crap. When all he did was he did a voiceover job. He did the job he was given, and according to. Oh, that's right. Thank you for reminding me, Trucker P. Yes, Dan Winston did design Pumpkinhead. That man was a genius and a half. But they're doing a job. Yet everybody blames the actor. Like shooting out, I am tired of this black gay man nonsense. Ncuti Gatwa is performing a script provided by whoever wrote it, according to direction, production, and blah, blah, blah. And I think he's doing a pretty good job. I have no problem with him. And of course, there's people out there already declaring that after Space Babies, Disney had already decided that this nonsense was going to get flushed down the toilet with my peanutty shit. Oh, God. I think I'm here. I hope you're not hearing my own echo in the next room. That's Lady G watching her tablet. But I know it's crazy. And, meanwhile, Chibnall can't write. Yet I'm sorry. Power of the Doctor, thank you for bringing it up, Roger, was what an anniversary celebration episode should be. Chibnall did something nobody else bothered to do in how many years. And that was, look at this. He managed to write a script on which he had classic doctors back with a perfect explanation. He had companions from the previous era show up, and it didn't clutter up the plot. It didn't clutter. There's too many people to write an effective special like that anymore. No, there's not. Ugh. And Chibnall proved it. And it was the centenary episode for the BBC. It wasn't even the actual anniversary episode for anything. As far as I'm concerned, that 60th thing was. Hang on. I'm sorry. I did not. I just don't get it. Bringing back classic villains so you can turn them into jokes is not. I'm sorry, but as much as I didn't really mind Neil Patrick Harris, as the toy maker. Okay, I got a kick out of that. Plus, the musical number in that, though, was to demonstrate the toy maker's power. Whereas let's just throw that, twist at the end horse shit on the one episode for no absolute reason, then they'll pad up an episode for 2.5 minutes because, it's bad enough your episodes have already been limited in length. Let's waste like 3 minutes of airtime on an unnecessary musical number. And no, I will never let that go. Ever, 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 ever. Oh, sorry. Hang on. I got stuck. But yeah, they bring back Sutek, the god of death, and then the doctor has little what's her name run out there. All right, Ruby hook up a thing to his collar and take him for walkies. I'm sorry, I thought that was a good special until that concept actually hit me. They took the god of death for walkies. And to me, it was a complete waste of a return of one of the best villains this series ever saw. I thought the Sutek design was ominous, but but it's like that's not what Sutek looked like. Us old school fans, we know what Sutek and the Osirans, were actually about. It was Stargate decades before Stargate even happened. Okay, that's what I still die laughing about. He was a four-eyed black. He was a four-eyed, dark-skinned, TARDIS hanging creature. God, whatever. I'm going to have lyrics for that by the end of the day, whether I like it or not. And yeah, and the whole resolution of that thing with Ruby Sunday was a joke. Yet you don't hear about oh. So in a way, maybe it is on the. No, it's not. But here's the thing: as much as I didn't like all that, there's parts I did like. So I agree with you. I did not get Wild Blue Yonder. I'm like, the Doctor's been outside the universe to the edge of the universe before, and nothing strange happened. Matter of fact, if I remember correctly, wasn't that where they were in Underworld all the way back, with Leela, where they got stuck, that ship got stuck in the forming planet and blah blah blah. I know that was no, I agree with Mark. That whole nonsense with the Ruby's mother was a crock. All they did was I think what it was is they didn't know how to. It was one of the things where they didn't have an exit strategy. Yeah, Underworld, where for that period they had to use, guys, we got this new technology, the blue screen, we're going to use it all the time now. Okay, we could have shot this on location, but at the same time I could see why they didn't, because you really didn't want people running around in caves in the type of uniforms, and costumes these people were wearing. So I can understand in a way why they did that, but no, not Underworld the movie, not the Kate Beckinsale movie. We're talking about Underworld the Tom Baker episode. For those few people who are a bit confused about that, okay? But oh yeah, Leisure Hive. Oh god, that was when John Nathan Turner took over, and everything had to have primary colors in it. That's when he completely changed, Tom Baker's costume to the that red one, which very some people like. I don't know. I still prefer the classical. Yeah, Underworld was not one of their greatest moments. Yeah, it's not. It's right up there with, well, then again, I think Happiness Patrol rates. So, or Delta and the Bannermen, yeah, or somewhere above that. Okay. I know. Again, why do Truckopedia brought? Why do people sign contracts to join a show when they, to whine it about being too much work? Look up Ruby Rose, Batwoman, because that was one of the leading things that was around about why she, kicked out of that series. That I want the role. I want the role. Because she'd been in a couple things before, but she wasn't a major character. I'm sorry, but I think her best performance of the art so far was the big fat nude scene she did in Orange is the New Black, and that's about it. I don't think she's an astounding acting talent. But that's the thing, Who's Books. Everybody has things they like, they dislike, but it's not always the same thing. You see, and that's not a bad thing. That's just called life. You know, we agree to disagree, and everybody's fine. Well, that's because great. It's going to hit me in a few minutes what the actress is name and who's played it. I didn't really feel the show was going anywhere, and I don't like to be stuck to a show long term or some crap like that. Yeah, you went off and did Rizzoli and Isles, and how long did that last? Meanwhile, you could have had a steady job for over 20 years, babe. It was some crap like that, and I'm like, yeah, you could have had a steady job for over 20 years, which is what most actors never have. You know? Well, yeah, well, there were East-based ones I liked, like State of Decay. I love the way they did their take on the vampire legend and tied it into Gallifrey. So State of Decay, I gotta say, is good. who was on Prison Break, and demanded they kick her off to do a different show, which never got picked them up. So they bring her back. Oh yeah, Walking Dead. That was the gal who played Maggie, and I should know that name, and it's going to kit me in a couple minutes. Yeah, she ran off to do another series, and yeah, it tanked. It didn't make it past the pilot stage. Yeah. Sarah Wayne Callie. Who'd she play again? No, but that happened with not Maggie. Was it Maggie or was it? Now you're Rick's wife. No, they never brought back Rick's wife. She showed back up as like a ghost for a while, but that was it. No, but that's what happened with the character of Maggie as well. If you didn't know that, that's why she wasn't on there for a while. She went off the. She got picked up in another series. Oh, you mean brought her back on Prison Break? No, but they did that same thing on The Walking Dead with Maggie, that actress, and it's going to hit me in about 15 minutes when it's no longer relevant. She did that too. She went on. That's why her Maggie was not shown and went off on some blah 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 adventure or whatever, and then came back. She went up. She signed for another series. It didn't get picked up. It didn't even make it past pilot stage. And next thing you know, Maggie's return on The Walking Dead. So yeah, that happened. Yeah, Lauren Cohen. Thank you. Yeah, it's like, folks. Yeah, look at I'm getting off this show. Yeah, Supernatural went 10 years. Was it? Yeah, because and it was supposed to only be a 5-year story arc, but it was so popular they continued beyond that. And the thing is this. Yeah, thank you, Lauren Cohen. I should have remembered that name, but I'm getting old and miserable. I suck. Okay. Yeah, there was some. By the way, yeah, thanks for Yahoo's book. Yeah, for you folks that didn't know, there were some Blake Seven actors who were at the con, but there was something weird going on at Chicago TARDIS this year, and I'm not saying anything detrimental because I always have a fun time when I'm there, and trust me, they're doing the best they can given this is a fan-run convention. This is not like a corporate entity, running this thing. I was very, very impressed with the fact that a fan-run convention landed Joe Martin, Sasha Dewan. Sasha Dewan's always busy. Any of the actors they land, I'm really surprised. They do a good job doing it. Except for certain companion actresses who collect the non-refundable deposit a couple years and then disappear when it's time to show up. But if it's a major con with major money and they have a thing, but that's a whole nother story. I never got into Superman and Lois. It's just, I don't want to sound mean, but the actress they picked to play Lois, now that's the name I can't forget, Elizabeth Tulloch, because when she was on Grimm, she was Bitsy Tulloch. Bitsy. Bits. Ingrid Oliver has come to Chicago TARDIS, and I simply just ignored her. I'm not there to stir up crap. Why should I ruin my good time, Yeah, to me, she's not worth all the huff and puff. I think the show was, I don't know why they brought her back as this magical super creature, Eve. Her character had about as much depth as a piss puddle on a summer day. I want to be an ultra powerful character too. That's probably what happened. Oh, yeah. Like I said, she is. Of course, she's going to Gallifrey 1 because she's going to California. She's going to the West Coast and getting paid for it. That's why she's going to Galley 1, folks. Plain and simple. All right, you're shocked MegaCon Orlando got 7 Doctor Who actresses next year from Matt Smith. Okay, I have said some things about Matt Smith in the past, but not. But okay, exactly. I'm not kidding. Go look up the convention photos with her. Just look at her eyes. She looks like, a deer trapped in headlights of an oncoming semi. It's well, like I said, tell them to send those people over and I'll say hi to them because I got blocked for trying to have a sense of humor with her. But apparently, remember, we now live in an age where if a fart joke can destroy nations, apparently now it's just how did we go from being one of the most, liberal, open-minded, oriented societies to if you so much as, do a one cheek sneak in church, you're going to be struck down as blaspheming everything and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. And it just scares the living shit out of me. The thought police are loose. Yeah. Yeah. So Ingrid Oliver was at Chicago TARDIS 1 year while I was there. I just simply ignored her and moved on. I'm not going to cause a scene, make me, the bad guy and all that for doing absolutely nothing wrong. And that's the sad part too. I wish that every single deity on the planet that even though it magically got disappeared along with everything else in that conversation on what was then Twitter, I'm sitting there today going, why did I apologize? I did nothing wrong. Uh, and you'll notice that despite all these little things with Unit, guess who hasn't come back on the show? I wonder why. You've seen how she treats people on social media and stuff like that. I wonder why she ain't been back on the main show. She'll always be back at Big Finish because they can lock her in a booth. But here's the thing: I had nothing against Ingrid Oliver personally. I had nothing. I had the Osgood character. Me, like I said, I can understand why they did it, but yeah, well, yeah, she bagged herself a rich one, so now she really doesn't have to work. Which happens a lot, unfortunately. I'm still wondering, why who was that guy who married Karen Gillan? I hope she made him sign a prenup. Ugh. I don't want another Federline situation developing, especially on poor Karen Gillan. It just worries me that, the week after you got married, you're already in marriage counseling. And now they've had a child, they're going to have a child together. Let's name him Band-Aid. Okay, I don't know. Like I said, I don't really, yeah, Mariah Carey, she was already making some money and then she ditched her husband, then later she bagged herself a rich one and now she's literally sitting somewhere in a penthouse apartment with servants to wipe her butt. And I came from the streets. I'm still Jenny from the block. Yeah, why don't we show them some more videos of those P. Diddy parties? Ugh. Like I said, I don't keep track of these things. All I know is this: I wasn't there. I have a wife. It wasn't me. That's all I'm saying. The thing is this: I'll be shocked if any of these guys make it to trial, let alone actually if it ever goes to trial. Because these guys, like I said, OJ with a few hundred million or a few $1,000,000 scraped out of a murder case, and here's the thing: I don't think he did it by himself either. I think there was him and somebody else who pulled those off. Because despite the fact, he was a strong guy, there's still evidence at that scene indicates that there's no way in hell he was by himself. But now you're dealing with billionaires. All I know is this: like the Epstein case, he must have really pissed somebody off to get actually caught. The guy owns an island, for crying out loud, and stuff like that. She killed Star Trek with her maid in, oh my God, like anybody remembers Maid in Manhattan. Well, yeah, of course, their names will get swept under the rug, just like there was a guy who was reading the list of celebrities who went to who were on the Epstein flight logs and all that were released by the media. This guy didn't make this list. He was reading the list that was released. Next thing you know, he's getting a lawsuit from Jim Carrey for simply reading a list that had Jim Carrey's name on it. And it doesn't say that they were the ones who did anything bad. It just said they were on these particular flights or whatever. So that kind of that makes me wonder. It's like, yes, J-Lo's an amazing choreographer. She's an amazing dancer, but she was good in a couple movies. Like I liked her in The Cell, but no, she is not A-list acting material. She's not Kathy Ireland bad. And look at how many movies they wasted before they realized Kathy Ireland couldn't act back in the day. Just like that, oh my God, that god awful commercial or Cindy Crawford. That was another one they tried. Oh God, Geely. Oh, don't mention that abortion. Oh. Well, here's the thing. We don't know who was there, who wasn't there. We do have alleged lists of people. And like I said, I'm not going to get into that whole nonsense. Well, folks, I have been on here ranting about everything from Doctor Who for the last 15 minutes. So here's the thing. And let's say this one more time for the people who don't know. All Disney said is they will not render a decision on syndicating Series 3 on until they have seen Series 2, which means maybe there was something in Series 1 they did not like. But at the same time, they've had these positive reports coming out about how great Doctor Who has done. So I don't know. And look at how much money, if this show is going to get tanked by Disney, why are they putting out these big fat commercials, for the holiday special and stuff like that? They could just let it sink. But from Doctor Who to Diddy, blah, blah, and Maid in Manhattan. So that's all that's been said. And here's the worst case scenario. And I probably didn't get around to it the first time because I got sidetracked, but here's we go. Here's we go. My God. Here's we go. You look at you. If Disney pulls out, that just means Doctor Who will not be aired on Disney Plus. They won't get the money from Disney this time, and they'll have to find another company to co-produce the show. Folks, I can name for you right now at least half a dozen streaming services that'll pick up Doctor Who in a heartbeat. Netflix, number one. HBO Plus has already aired stuff for Doctor Who before. Like I said, it's got a history. Therefore, it's someone would step in and say, "Okay, we'll co-fund it, and we get to air it." Done. So everybody, please enjoy your Ryoki. Oh, somebody watches Tenchi. Okay. There was Ryoki, Washu. Okay, I'm getting out of here. Please be kind, be calm, be safe. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you all tomorrow in the parking lot. So take care, everyone, and catch you later. If I can find the button on this, hang on. There.